And further context, so the Cowboys had Cowboy practice today at 2024 training camp. But, it was one of the ones like, hey, man, we want to thank the Oxnard Fire Department, the Oxnard Chamber of Commerce. We want to thank everybody here. We want to thank Oxnard High School, Oxnard Middle School. Oh, look, the Cowboys cheerleaders are here to do Thunderstruck and all that. And they kind of did a walkthrough practice. So it wasn't like super competitive. It wasn't a bunch of them versus us. It was just a bunch of walking around in ball caps. But you don't do walkthroughs for no reasons. Walkthroughs are still practice. You walk through to simulate what all of us look like together doing one action and making sure that we all know the play. I find it funny on the day that we do walkthroughs, which is a day to ensure that you know the plays. Chuma Edoga wasn't the first tackle out there. I thought it was funny. Because the one joke I always say, and it's not really a joke, but it's very serious, but I'm playing, but I ain't, is Chuma Edoga is actually a solid backup. He just don't know the plays, but we're doing walkthroughs today. So I just wanted to pull a couple of tweets. They're all from Pat NOC Walker. Everybody decided to take the day off today, but Pat NOC Walker hooked us up. We got about 4 tweets to go over here. So pardon me, we got 3. No, we got 4. All right, cool. 4 tweets that we got to go over. And let's tap into them. First one, this is kind of like some news going around here, but hey, this is camp season, and when we get into camp season, people typically get paid. Pat says this: the Cowboys have submitted a new offer to Dak Prescott along with one to CeeDee Lamb, as mentioned in his previous tweet. Stay tuned. We ain't got to go to his previous tweet because this current tweet says everything that we need to be said. It don't take a whole bunch of time to go from, oh yeah, we ain't really been talking to Dak Prescott and his representation, and now all of a sudden, please sign this so that we can move on. I wish the Cowboys would move with a little more urgency so that Dak was signed before Jordan Love, or Dak was signed before, I don't know, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, some of these other guys that are getting paid, definitely driving Dak's number up, and the same for Lamb and the rest of the wide receivers. I wish that we could just go ahead and get this over with. If you make them the highest paid player, what are they going to say? No. But if you nickel and dime them, this thing gets dragged out, for extra months and weeks and things like that. Then other people get paid. Then when you're forced to make them the highest paid player, now you just then added a whole nother $10 million to your cap that you ain't even had to add at first. But yeah, man, there are conversations with Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb's people. This is what y'all came here for, I imagine. Let me boom, there y'all go. It's what y'all came here for, I imagine. I'm probably going to put this in the thumbnail and the headline here that Tyler Guyton was indeed first team characters the day he was out there with the first team. And now let's just, a lot of people hit me up. A lot of people tagged me on Twitter. They was happy for me. They thought I was crying tears of joy. Let me tell you why I wasn't crying tears of joy. It takes 2 things to make me cry tears of joy. Now, one, Tyler Guyton, y'all know I have my own feelings about Tyler Guyton playing left tackle. It is what it is. I would rather him play left tackle over Chuma Edoga, but there's no urgency for me to put Tyler Guyton at left tackle. I was just happy to see that it wasn't Chuma out there. If you're going to have a rookie in Tyler Guyton that's going to be starting for you, he's your first round pick, throw him in the fire and let him get better. That ain't what's going to make me cry. What's going to make me cry is when Brock Hoffman has to sit down and Cooper Beebe is now your center. That's why I started to shed tears. That's when I started to have wet dreams, because we finally got 3 powerful characters in the middle. Brock Hoffman's cool, but he ain't the powerful character in the middle that we're expecting to be there. That's Cooper Beebe, right? So when Cooper Beebe's at center, please tag me in Twitter. Please tag me on whatever I put on YouTube, community page, video, whatever you can find. Tag me when Cooper Beebe plays center for me, because that's when I'm really going to shed tears. I'm happy that Tyler Guyton is thrown in the fire relatively, but I ain't gonna shed no tears about it. And look, very much so, we can get to next week and Chuma Edoga be the first tackle again, but I think once the pads come on, I think that'll be good for everybody, and we'll talk about that when pads get there. But I think Cooper Beebe is much more built to be your center when pads come on, but we'll discuss it. All right, here we go. Where's my mouse? I can't find my mouse. I'm sorry. Yeah, there we go. All right, what's next here? Okay, so Mazi Smith has been your starting one tech in this situation. Shouts out to Pat NOC Walker. It was one of his other tweets. See if I can find one of Pat NOC Walker's other tweets. It was one of his tweets that he said. Yeah, it wasn't that one. It was but Pat was basically like, "Hey man, Mazi look a little quick off the line of scrimmage. I'll upload video proof in a second." You know what I'm saying? But this was him putting a Mazi rep in slow motion. Let me see if I can directly identify Mazi for y'all. Okay, so let's pause here. Mazi's like that guy, and I know that ain't. Oh, my mouse over here. Mazi's that guy, and I know that ain't helping too much. Maybe if I hold on, let's see if we can. Yeah, let's see, can shimmy. Boy, this just boy, look, boy, content creation, boy. That's Mazi right there. Y'all see Mazi right there. He's out there with Chauncey Ghost and Sam Williams out there. Also, Digazoo. So yeah. That's what your lineup is. So when he says that Mazi's coming off the ball a little quicker, Mazi's one of the first characters coming off the football. And I know it's somebody in the chat going, but Voch, are we really about to praise Mazi Smith for coming off the ball quickly? Shouldn't he just automatically come off the ball quickly? Why he give him credit for that's like making good grades. You know what I'm saying? Your kid's supposed to make good grades. Well, if your kids was making horrific grades, yeah, you got to applaud your kids for making good grades now. Mazi Smith could not come off the ball to save his damn life. So what we got to do now that he's coming off the ball decently at a walkthrough practice with no pads on? We got to applaud the change, man. Y'all just can't be grumpy people your whole life, man. Shouts out to Mazi. He's taking necessary steps to be a smidgen better than he was last year, man. But hey, we'll continue to move on, and I won't make no jokes. Shouts out to him. And one more that was interesting to me. See if I can move that down for y'all. There we go. Caelen Carson, rookie 5th round pick, is getting lots of first team burn on the outside in the absence of Trey Diggs, as in the entire practice day. So cool. What that means is actually interesting. That's a very important line right here. That's a super important line right here. He says, as in the entire practice today. Let me tell you why that's so important. It ain't a rotation for when Trey comes off the field. Because if you look on here, Deron Bland's on the field. Like all the other guys are on the field. Like that's the first team right there. So when they say, hey man, yeah, Caelen Carson's out there and he's been out there the entire practice as outside corner for you. One, that means he's a little more favored than Eric Scott right now. Nashawn possibly has been on the other side because Brian Broaddus has been telling me that Nashawn's getting involved also. But what that means is if anything happens to any outside guys, Caelen Carson is your first man up. And we don't know if Diggs is going to be flat out bona fide ready day one of real football season. So we're going to be keeping eyes on Caelen Carson for real. Also, and this could mean something in terms of like roster management also, or just like who's making the team for real. Like, you know, me and Will still did an exercise. Y'all go check it out on his channel. It's also on mine, but go watch it on his channel also. We're trying to figure out who are we cutting towards the end of the season, and we got a lot of corners and we got a lot of safety dudes. Like that DB group is a pretty large group, and Eric Scott was one of the guys that we cut towards the end of the situation. Now I'm not saying that it's gonna happen, but if Pat NOC Walker says, "Hey, Trey Diggs is down," and Caelen Carson has been the first outside corner all day, then I think that means something for the cornerbacks that have been on this team prior to Caelen Carson getting there. But we'll see. Hey, y'all, this was a practice where not a lot happened, but we still found a way to make some content out of it. And Brian Broaddus is still tapping in with us later. So y'all be sure to be here when that happens. Y'all hold it down for the Doski Walls and Peace. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs by the end of football season. So tap in with me. You're peace.